And today what we're going to do is open our awareness to the most empowered people that could ever face this earth. We are all empowered. And we're going to look at the fact that we are empowered to do some many, many things. We are empowered to connect with everything in the universe, to have a conversation, to have a connection with everything in the universe. We can connect with animals, we can connect with plants, we can actually create and manifest our heart's desire, we can create relationships, and we can actually bring disaster into our life if we so desire, and we can do all of that without saying one word. Think about it. We have this awesome empowerment that allows us to say nothing and to achieve everything. We have this empowerment to say nothing and to bring fear and doubt into our experience. We have this power to say nothing and to bring into our experience love, harmony, abundance, and healing. That's how empowered we are. So today we're going to concentrate on that. We can, as Joanne said, we can actually sense danger when we walk into a room or when we walk into a community area when there's no apparent physical example of danger, but it's there lurking. We have the power to feel that energy source. Isn't that incredible? And so Reverend Robert Schuller, he was the pastor of the Crystal Cathedral. Everybody visit the Crystal Cathedral when it was in existence. It was awesome. But he had the story about this idea of this communication that we have with all, and that we can actually experience love, and we can experience health and abundance without any verbal communication. One day he was in a board meeting. He was asked to be there to kind of be a mediator. And there were 6 people there, and they were very negative. They had icy stares for each other. They really didn't agree on anything. And they apparently didn't like each other. And he was sitting there, and all of a sudden that energy started pulling him in. And he started getting irritated, and he started getting kind of abrasive. And this man walks in, and this guy had a smile on his face. He was just a loving energy. And the minute he walked in, everything changed. The anger, the energy of negativity, all of that dissolved. People started smiling and speaking to each other. The whole thing was different. Afterwards, Reverend Schuller went up to the guy and he says, I want to know something. What is it that you did to cause all these negative people to change? And he said, well, I realized when I looked at the agenda that there are a lot of difficult items on the agenda that will be some negativities. And I decided before I go in there, I don't want to be affected by negative stuff. So I went within with myself. I said, I'm a love energy myself. And I know everybody on the board, they are all loving energy people. And therefore, it's going to be energy to energy of love. And we're going to dissolve anything that's negative. That's all I did. He said, I was just myself. Isn't that cool? Just this last week, it's kind of interesting. In our office, at the Emerson office, Joan comes up to me. This is an example of how we have direct communication with the source of all there is. And direct communication. Joan comes to me and says, Angela, we need to purchase a new 4-drawer filing cabinet. And she said, because we're getting so many new enrollments in Emerson, we need more room. And I looked at her and I said, you know, Joan, this time of the year where there are a lot of people on vacation, I have to watch the budget, you know, that kind of stuff. And therefore, I'm going to, we need to look at it. I said, let's take a different track rather than purchase anything. And she says, what would you like to do? I says, let's sit and do a meditation. Let's visualize that the 4-drawer filing cabinet will show up in our life. Tim's smiling because he was part of this in a different, indirect way. Let's just focus on the fact that it will be delivered to us, and we'll have and so we did a little prayer treatment. And you know that we are a life form of God. Our activity is a life form of God. We're servicing humanity, and therefore everything we would ever need to do that, all the tools are there. And all we have to do is be open and receptive to the tools. I mean, that's all. And we have no needs. It's going to arrive. And so then I said, now let's make room for the filing cabinet. And so I know we go over and we make room for this filing cabinet. It's kind of crazy. It's nuts. But anyway, we're weird. Anyway, and I'll be darned, the very next day, there's an email to Tim Madden, to Chris Baker, Chris is not here now, 2 PLCers, from Darlene, who's an attorney on one of our committees that we're on, called the Oakers Alliance Committee. And here's what her email said. I have a 4-drawer filing cabinet that I want to give to a charitable organization. Do you know of one? If not, do you need it yourself for your organization? And he says, here's the key, and this is the universe working for us. I no longer have need for it. So I emailed back, no, this idea of control. Well, I guess we have need for it. Is it a regular one, or is it legal size? I want a regular. She says, no, it's a regular size, you know. And so anyway, Wednesday, she said, this was on Thursday, the 24th of July. Just this last Wednesday, she said, I'm going to deliver it to you. So she delivered it to us on Wednesday, and we had the place all ready for her, and I go out to help her, and lo and behold, guess what color it was? Black, the same color of what we're using. Let's clap for the Yay! Let's clap for Darlene, because she's an awesome lady. Today we're going to look at this idea, you know, we're empowered. Whether we want to accept it or not, we are empowered. And those who don't accept it, they're still empowered. But the problem is, this empowerment can be a blessing or it can be a curse. Because we're in this direct communication with the universe, whether we like it or not, we are at that level of energy. And we're like, I guess what I called ourselves this morning when I decided to say this, we are like a radio and its antenna. We have a direct communication with the electromagnetic energy, which is the essence of everything in the universe itself. And we can look at this from a PLC standpoint and say that is absolutely correct. And Bob can explain this too when he does his quantum physics stuff. But we have a direct relationship to this electromagnetic energy, which is the essence of everything in the universe. And everything, and what we call it a vibration, and what's kind of mysterious for a lot of folks who are not in this belief system, the vibration and this energy is based on a frequency, and what we see around us is information that's contained in the energy. It's hard for our conditioned mind to accept any of this, but it's true. The seat you're sitting on is moving and vibrating, whether you feel it or not. And we can say, well, Angela, if that's true, how come I don't feel the energy soup? If that's all true. And that's because our senses operate so slowly that it functions slowly, so we don't see all this energy that's moving at lightning speed. It's moving so fast, so all we can actually see is the information that's contained and the energy that's contained in our chairs and our tables, each other. That's what we see, and that's what we experience. Isn't that incredible? Mm-hmm. And it's hard, I think, if you're outside of this idea of a belief system, to really accept those kinds of things. What we're focusing on right now is the fact that we have all the tools necessary to do whatever we decide we want to do in our life experiences. And I'm glad Pearl's here, because she's a fond believer of this. We have no needs. And Pearl will remember, we've preached this before, you don't want to put the energy, the frequency of need out in the universe. What do we get back? What's the vibration in need? The vibration is more in need. So Angela, if I put out the vibration, I need this or I need that, for example, the 4-drawer cabinet, their filing cabinet, I didn't put down that we need anything. What we put out in the universe is that we have it. That's available to us, it just hasn't shown up yet. And so that's what this is all about. And so, and I'm not going to say the word bottom line. Spiritual teachers, I think it was Joe Murphy. I love Joe Murphy, he's gone now, but he's still there. Joe Murphy said, if you're not experiencing abundance and success in this universe, you almost have to be against it and working against it. It's automatic there. We just need to connect to it. Do you agree with any of this stuff? Well, I sure do. I experienced it just this last week. It was kind of cool. One of the things that we talk about, and we see this, and I've defined it too, and this is what New Thought's all about. Change your thinking, change your life. Do you remember that? Did we say that? How many of you believe in that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Raise your hand. Oh, good. Well, we need to tweak it today. Let's tweak that one. We need to do what? We need to change our frequency and change our life. Isn't that interesting? Change our frequency, change your life. Because this idea of vibration is frequency. This idea of energy is vibration. It all goes together. And it doesn't matter what kind of words we use. It doesn't matter. How many of you have seen What About, not about you, Bob? What About Bob? The film. I would like to watch that once in a while. What About Bob? Well, he's a schizophrenic, paranoid guy.